Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. For supportive oracle cards, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. I love these cards lately, so I keep using them. Relationship first, single second. Cancer. Okay. 1, 2. Your partner is heading for a problem. I feel like you're very strong in helping them through this. My first thought is your partner is heading towards something. More than likely, when you're coming to this, it hasn't happened yet for them. It doesn't feel like it's between you and your partner, but it's between your partner and something else. Could be their job, another friend, a family member, something like that. That they're gonna hit a brick wall. It's gonna be a rough moment, and I feel you're gonna have to kind of help them through this. Let's just keep going. I'm noticing this on your side, the Lover's card currently, and I feel like what they're saying is like, especially if everything is really good right now, go out of your way to give them a good moment with you, because I feel like they're gonna need it. I feel like they're going to need it. Like, something special, like if they like a certain type of sport, or if there's something you could do for them that's really not crazy out of the way for you, of course, but something just you could do for them just to give them a really good moment, because they're going to need to pull back on this. They're going to need to hold to this moment later, because I feel like it's kind of like giving them a break before the storm hits, if that makes sense. Because what's coming up is I feel like you're going to have to help them regain their footing. Your challenge card is the Seven of Wands, which is coming up. It hasn't happened yet. But I feel like you can use this to your advantage, because showing this love, experiencing this love with them while things are pretty good right now, later when you're helping them get back on their feet and recover from what's about to happen to them, this makes it easier for you and them, because it just kind of, it makes it easier to tune things up. It's almost like you tuned the instrument really well, then something happened and put it out of whack. It just made it that much easier for you to tune it, retune it. I feel like that's where we're going to go. As we keep going, I think it'll make better sense. Now, I'm getting a sense of this. This is what's about to happen. There's a very good social connection for your partner, a very good social. It could be friends, family, coworkers, but there's a good social connection. This is not talking about their connection with you. And I actually feel like you're one removed from this. So like you might be aware of these people, you might know these people a little bit, but your connection is nowhere near as strong as your partner's is to the situation. I mean, it's a general read, so take it with a grain of salt, granted, but this is how this is feeling. So this is happening. Someone's about to leave. The terms on which they're leaving might be a little bit left and right. It might be one of those dark blessing type feelings, which means something that's really hard, something that's really difficult to deal with, but actually is going to have a good outcome in the long run, for whatever that means. That's usually a dark blessing. I don't know why we're throwing that in there, but we are. A dark blessing is something that's really hard, really harsh to deal with, but in the long run, it serves people best. So, but what I'm getting is there might be hints of this coming. There may be hints of this coming. For some people, they may flat out know what's about to happen, but not realize the emotional impact it's about to have. Because there's a social connection, somebody's about to walk away, is what I'm getting. Now, you've got a couple cards here that, like, you're standing strong. You may, I mean, just to be fair, Cancer is a water sign. Water tends to be a little bit more on the intuitive, depending on the day. Sometimes, go with it. But what I'm getting is, like, you might be seeing, like, the little red lights, or the little red flags, I should say, that something is about to be an issue. Because I feel you kind of hunkering down, kind of like, that could be a problem. Let me just kind of keep it in the back of my thoughts. I don't see you kind of like pushing it forward to your partner like, you know, that could be a problem. I feel you more absorbing it yourself like, oh, I better keep an eye out for this because this could be hard for my partner or this could have other repercussions. You seem to be connecting with it on that level to like, something might be just like, you might hear something off the cuff and it just might stick with you funny. Sometimes this happens for people who are a little bit more on the intuitive, but you're not realizing what's being said to you. Like you might hear somebody talking about a certain situation, kind of like, you know, so-and-so likes jelly beans, but you know, that's really not something they should be eating. And you hear this, for example, and you're like, it just sticks in your brain like that's important and you're not sure why. You know what I mean? Something like that. And then later on down the road, you find out that this person was diabetic and that caused them to go into some type of distress. You know what I mean? Like you didn't get the whole picture, but you're like, oh, I did hear that. And it did at the time it stuck with me, but I didn't realize what it was actually saying or why that meant so much to me. Those type of things. So this is coming forward, and I'm feeling like you're getting little inklings. Probably for most of you, like something is sticking in your brain and you're just like not sure why it's sticking there. It may make more sense later, just to be fair. And hopefully I explained that well. So, as we keep going forward, it happens. It happens. Your partner hits the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is not fun. That's devastation. Even if they had inklings or hints or they thought they knew what was about to happen, when something actually happens, when it actually hits the button, it's really rough. It's really not fun. It's almost like, oh, why am I going to do that? All right, we'll say this. Like, if your parent is doing not so well and they're ill, or you know somebody in your family or a friend, you know they're not doing well, and you know that the possibility of them passing is very real, and you even may have a situation where you're like, their life has been very rough, they're fighting to survive. If they do cross over, it's probably for the best for them. It's one of those feelings, but then when it actually happens, it's like, it's horrible. You thought you were okay with it if it was happening, but when it actually happens, you're not. That's that type of feeling here. It's kind of like this Ten of Swords is saying, especially with the Moon card, like thinking like they should be okay with it or like it shouldn't have been that much of a shock, but when it actually happens, it's devastating. It's horrible. And I feel like they're trying to reach out and they're trying to be okay with whatever's happened. They're trying to like be okay. They're really trying to be okay with it. We got gratitude here. Kind of like what's left, what I had with this person, whatever that is. Somebody's leaving the picture. I'm getting it again. Now, it doesn't have to mean they're crossing over, but it could be they're just literally out of your partner's life from now on, or at least the way they've been in their life, it's not going to be like that anymore. They're having a very hard time with this. And the Moon and the gratitude is like they're trying to be okay with it. It's almost like they're feeling like they should be okay with it, or they're trying to make themselves believe they should be okay with it. But they're not, and they just can't get there. And that's a normal, this is kind of how that should be. They're just trying to get through it. The fact that they're trying to be okay with it is a good thing, but they shouldn't be beating themselves up about not being okay with it at the same time. Like, trying to be okay with it, that's good. Belittling themselves or beating themselves down for not being okay with it, that's not good. Okay, we're good? Because the situation just seems to be compounding on them. It just seems to keep falling in on them. It seems like they're having a hard time like accepting that they're not accepting it. Does that make sense? It's like they're having a hard time accepting the circumstances, and then they're having a hard time being okay with that. Like they're like, no, I shouldn't be this upset. No, I should be like, I should handle this better. Like they keep feeling like they should handle this better, and they're fighting like trying to irrationally work it out. Like what's happened has happened, and I need to be okay with it because this is what's happened, and now it's just after the fact, and let's be okay with it. But the shadow side is telling me they're not. It's almost like they're trying to fight their own feelings. They're trying to fight their need to be upset. They don't want to get overly upset. They want to be okay with it. They're like, this is what's happened. This is like flat out on paper what's happened, and now we just got to keep moving forward. And they're trying to be okay with it, but emotionally they're not. So it's okay to want to improve, to be okay, but it's not okay to deny their own feelings. I have a feeling for those of you this is really going to hit with, you know exactly what your partner's about to do, and you know exactly how this is going to go. I feel like you probably already have the heads up, because this is a pattern with them. Now, I see as this happens, you've got the Ten of Pentacles. I really feel like you know your partner well enough, even if you've only known them for a short time, maybe this is a newer relationship, you kind of know how they work enough to know that you just need to stand here strong. You got a lot of Pentacle energy here. You got the Ten of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. Kind of like letting them have their moment, letting them feel the way they want to feel, not trying to force them to feel or force them to deal with anything. You're not doing that. I don't feel that anyway. But kind of like just standing strong, helping them where you can. Like if they start expressing an emotion, trying to get them to vent it out without making things worse. I feel like it seems like you're kind of on point with what to do with this. It actually feels. And I'm seeing like they're saying the success here, which is a Six of Wands, is coming from like just realizing this will pass. It will pass, but I feel like it's kind of like, for some of you, it may just be open to your partner kind of experiencing more of this without you. I don't know where we're going with this, but let's see. Because I feel like they might need to sort this out with the people they're more connected with, that knew or connected with that feeling a little more. And I feel like for those of you coming to this, it's kind of like allowing your partner to like disconnect from you to a point for a little while to reconnect with this other energy where the loss is more prevalent for other people who are feeling the same way as your partner is. And I feel like that might be the advice here, just to let your partner do that. Because I see things are going to go better for you, because your partner seems to be, spiritually, I see them with the Six of Swords, kind of like there's a little bit of a vacancy between you and them temporarily. Very temporarily. And I just feel like you're letting that be for a little while. I mean, you have to keep it within reason. I understand that. But I feel like they're kind of experiencing those feelings with other people who are more connected with that. And I feel like you kind of promoting or saying, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead, do what you got to do. You know what I mean? To a point. To a point. I mean, you got to use your brain with what's allowed and what's not allowed. Like, a positive way is like, you know, for example, if it was a childhood friend that they lost, and there's other people that they grew up with, and they're going to go, and they're maybe going to go see a hockey game on a Saturday as in remembrance for that person. And like, you go ahead, you go do that. That's cool. Great. You know, I'll stay home or I'll go do some other things so you guys can connect and remember times. That's fine. That's cool. What would not be a good thing, and I hope this doesn't come off bad, but for example, like over drinking, situations that are going to create over drinking, like if like let's get together at so and so's favorite bar, and they're getting together, and then like you want to be careful, like, you know, call me if you need a ride, like let me drop you off type thing. But like you don't want it, you want to be careful it's not connected to more of a negative behavior. You might have to be like, well, you know, I'll drop you off at 8 and then I'll show up at 10:30, and that way when you're ready to go home I can bring you home. Like you'll give them a couple hours by themselves if it's something like that, and then you're like, well, I'll show up at 10:30. That way, when you're ready to go home, I can bring you home. I'll know you're okay, and I'll be the DD for everybody if we need to, or whatever we need to do. Use your brain with that. Don't be just easily agreeable, because I feel like some of you might have the tendency to be like, okay, whatever you need to do. Use your brain. Think about what's happening, and just think ahead a little bit. Because this is a situation where they're going to have to go through the emotions. They're going to have to go through those emotions. Because what's happening here is I do see they're reconnecting with you in a more stable way after this event. So whatever it is that's left, they're like reconnecting to things they know are stable and going to stay in their life. You're one of the main things they know. You're staying in their life, and they're very connected with that. And they need to like remember and connect. Like this is going to make them feel better. They got the Sun card as their challenge card. And then they got this Queen of Pentacles, which don't get caught up in the gender, but emotionally, the queens are usually very evolved, emotional people. Like they're emotionally evolved. They know how to use their emotions to the benefit of other people and themselves. This is like they become a great asset. I don't know why I'm going to go there, but in my mind, for example, all great successful warriors have this connection with emotion. That's my opinion. I don't think of it as just a solely male thing. I feel like when you have a successful, passionate warrior, they're connecting to this. It's almost like a divine feminine feel for whatever reason. Don't know why I'm going there, but I am. There you go. All right. Because they need to connect back emotionally with you and realize, all right, this is where I'm reestablished. I'm already established here, but I need to, like, where I feel like I'm lacking, I need to connect with my partner and realize that this is stable, this is where I'm secure, this is where I'm safe. It's kind of like a safety feel too. The Queen of Pentacles is a safety feel. Feeling safe, feeling honored, feeling connected, feeling like I look out for them, they look out for me, when this card is balanced, of course. It's one of those aspects of this card, in my opinion. So this is how they're coming back. This is after this moment. I do see the wheel turning in your favor. You're going to notice a little bit of a change is what I'm getting after this. Your partner might be a little bit more clingy is what I'm getting. It's up to you whether you like this or not. 'Cause some of you are going to be okay with it. I feel like your partner may have a tendency to be a little bit more clingy after this for a time period. Could go for a while, just to be fair. It's up to you whether you're okay with that. If you're not okay with it, you're going to want to wean it a little bit. But if you're fine with it, it could last, for some of you, indefinitely is what I'm getting. For whatever that means. So just be aware of it. When they reconnect, make sure that if it's getting too close and it makes you feel a little bit, like you can't breathe, for example, you're going to want to, when you start noticing it, right away just start slowly weaning it out a little bit so you can, just adjust it to where you're comfortable and you'll be fine. As soon as you notice it, though, just start slowly adjusting it because I feel like it could be obnoxious for a little while, but if you slowly adjust it, not only it'll get to a level that you're okay with, but it should stay and maintain at that level. Like if you snap and be like, get off me, that could have a negative, you might end up just breaking a connection there that you don't want. Just be careful, there could be a situation, but if you slowly just kind of like, let's push it back, that's a good place. You just stay there, within reason for you, of course. You got to have your own boundaries, naturally. And then it should stay there and just kind of swim along there without a problem. Because I do see like this is going to be like a reconstituting of your relationship, especially for those of you that I know this is going to hit for. I don't know who, obviously, but your relationship may have been a little strained up to this point. Like this loving moment may have happened, but for the most part, maybe it lacks here and there. Like the connection isn't as strong as you'd want. I'm getting this is your chance to reestablish the connection to the level you want. So if you're one of those people that you're like, I love my partner, but sometimes I just feel like we're living two different lives. After this moment happens, you may be able to like reestablish this to where you're more together and living in one motion rather than living in two different situations, if that makes sense. I don't think I'm going to beat that anymore to death. I think for those of you it's necessary for, I feel like it's going to click for. If it didn't seem to really make sense, just move on from it. Don't worry about it. All right. Let's go into Cancers that are single and see what we have for y'all. What do we have for single Cancers? What do we have for single Cancers? Messages for single Cancers. I'm getting like things are getting better, but it's kind of like a balloon feel. Which makes me wonder, is this reality or fantasy? So it seems like that's the energy I'm coming into. I didn't get something like this for Pisces, I noticed. But for this one, I am getting like that balloon feel, like things are getting better, but the question is it just something that seems better, or is this really a good moment? I'm seeing happiness, though. So let's see if the cards also, then this card pops. So this is the only card that, see, I feel like I'm still feeling a positive energy around you, though, for the Cancers that this is going to connect for. Yet, I'm saying that, and the Ten of Swords is where you're standing. So I'm like, I'm seeing a positive energy. I'm getting that Ten of Swords. Mind you, all the rest of these cards are pretty good. All right, you got the Four of Cups in the past. So something you may feel isn't going to work out might still have possibilities. Will. Not yours, somebody else's. Okay. I'm still getting a positive feel. I know that sounds completely nuts with the Ten of Swords because this is a devastation card, card. But I'm getting it's all because of the past with the Four of Cups. Like, somebody you wanted just wasn't really moving towards you. It's almost like you knew what you wanted, but you couldn't get your hands on it. That type of feel. And you've tried with this person before in the past, and it just either slipped through your fingers or you just couldn't get your hands on them. You just couldn't do it. And I'm getting that's where the Ten of Swords is, because you're like, I would like this person, but I can't get them. All right, so I'm getting a lot of energy here with the environment here. Is that the 7? Yep, 7 of Cups in the environment. And it's connecting to, like, you got a couple pentacles coming in here. You got the Knight of Pentacles at the top, but you also have the Queen of Pentacles in your thoughts, which is really seeming to pull into me here. Kind of like you might be hung up on this person a little bit. For those of you this is really going to click with, I feel like there's a person that, like, when they come around, it's just somebody that they enter the room and you're like, yeah, I like that one. I like that one. Now, but you can't get your hands on them, whoever they may be. Now, this is somebody who seems to be just lingering around. This could be somebody you work with. But I'm noticing the 7 of Cups kind of like, they haven't completely discounted you. They just haven't chosen you yet either. Again, that would make sense with the 10 of Swords. Kind of like, you know, you're knowing that they like you, but they're not choosing you. And you're just kind of like, this isn't helping me. I'm still getting this balloon type sunny day, like, positive energy here. I feel like this person looks at you favorably. They simply haven't chosen to move forward, and they seem to be looking at you like it's not time. Like, if I'm not ready to really commit or really try, then it's not time to go towards you. And I feel like that's the whole thing of this. They do consider you as a good match for them, but they're like, I don't know if I really want to start that ball rolling right now. They're seeing you more as a, like, if I'm going to try this, it's like I'm going to literally try to make something happen here. You got the Queen, again, the Knight of Pentacles at the top, which is telling me this is slow going. It's a slow moving thing, slow moving forward. And it does seem to get more and more better, but I'm getting this balloon feel again, which, again, when I get balloon, it makes me feel like, is this really fun? Or is this just floating away and it was fun for a second and then it floated away? Which is it going? Which way is it going? Because I do have the 2 of Wands coming forward with the King of Wands. They seem to be talking to you. And I know that Wands are action, but I'm getting conversation here. Because I'm getting action with the 7 of Cups. Like, they are literally moving forward, doing something with you. But I don't feel like it's like, I don't feel like it's a date. I feel like they're around you. I feel like you're actively doing something together, and they're talking with you as they're moving forward. It reminds me of kind of like, don't get caught up in this sign, but it does kind of make me feel like Leo. Leos not only do and move forward, but they easily communicate. When they need to say something, they say it. That's just how it is. And I'm kind of feeling that energy. Don't get caught up in this sign, though. It's an energy like this, and that's kind of what I'm feeling with this. Action is happening, things are going forward, choices are being made, and they're talking to you while they're doing things. Now, I'm noticing this 2 of Wands here, but I don't feel like it's making a choice with you. I just feel like you're making choices with them, or it's a choice they're making and you're a part of it, something like that. I don't feel like it's a choice to move forward with you or a choice to not move forward with you. I don't feel that here. I feel like you're doing something together, you're helping them make decisions, possibly. You might be actually helping them make decisions. That makes more sense to me. Because I don't feel them choosing you or not choosing you. I feel like they're going through making decisions and they're talking with you about making decisions and moving forward. But I feel like you're advising. I actually feel like you're advising this person. It's very interesting because that's how that feels. And they feel like you're getting closer to this person. Now, you're helping this person make decisions. That's the Magician at the bottom. Like, I'm really, like, trying to absorb this. Like, this seems a little strange to me, but they're like, no, this is how this feels. You're helping this person make decisions. You're helping them choose where to go forward, but I'm getting that 10 of Swords again. It's kind of like you're helping them do what they need to do, helping them figure things out, but they're not together with you. They're not even dating you at this point. So it's just kind of like, I like this one. I'd like to be with this one. They obviously care what I think, and they take my advice to heart, but I can't seem to get them in my life the way I want to. So it's kind of like, that's again the Ten of Swords, just kind of like they're valuing my opinion. Like, you're killing me here. You're valuing my opinion. You listen to what I say. You kind of move forward with the advice I'm giving you, but you don't seem to want to date me for some reason. And it's just, that's that Four of Cups in the past again. Like, you got all three except the final one that you want. They like you. They're positive towards you. They listen to you, but they're not dating you. And you're just kind of like, what is up with this? What is up with this? Because that's the energy I'm feeling here with this. Now, I'm noticing these two cards come in, and I feel like this is good, and I'm feeling a lot of happy energy with this, but I'm questioning exactly why. Six of Pentacles and the Will card. Now, that Will card is very curious in this deck, because you'll notice that person has a mask on their face. Or is it? Well, yeah, it is. Over their eyes, there's definitely a mask, but that ball in front of that person's face is what I was really noticing. And it's almost like it's a little bit shrouded in mystery. There's a lot of like when you see that the collar on that person, like, that's so dramatic. It's a very dramatic collar, obviously. It makes me feel like they're coming forward and they're involving you more in their life, and they want you more in their life. But they're not really coming forward with what they're thinking, because I feel like they're involving you more in their life, but you're still not dating. And I'm getting the Six of Pentacles is like you're getting more involved, and you're giving into this, and you're helping them. It seems weird. Like, you're having a good time with this person, but I'm not feeling like a relationship. I'm not feeling like, it doesn't feel like intimacy, like romantic intimacy. I'm not feeling that. I feel like you're getting closer to this person, though. You're getting closer to their life, and you're kind of questioning again. We seem to get along so well. Why can't we just tip over to the next level? Can we start dating? Why can't we start dating? Why can't this happen? Do they just not see me that way? What's the deal? Again, it's another spot in this reading where it's kind of like you're standing there going, what's the deal? We seem to get along so well. Why can't this go forward to the next level? This is where this part of the reading is ending. The Six, is that the Six of Cups? Yep. Six of Cups and the Empress. Now, this is really like a questioning part here. This might be one of those things where you cash in your chips and kind of call or ante up if you want to. I think that's what you do in poker. Not a poker player. Because you got the Empress and you got the Six of Cups. And I feel like what this is finally going to is like you keep getting closer, and even after this moment, you're like, I really like being around this person, but, like, what's the deal? We can't seem to move forward. It's kind of like the ante up feel to me. The Empress with the Six of Cups. Like, I feel like you're coming forward. You've finally had enough. And you're like, listen, we got to have a talk. I would like to actually be in a relationship with you or start dating you or something. I just need to know if you're just completely not interested with this and you just want to be friends, or if you're just holding off for some reason. Like, where's your mind? Like, are you interested in me enough to possibly start dating? Or am I just not what you're interested in? Because we get along so well in other places and you listen to me. Like, to me, this makes sense. We should move forward. I feel like this is where this is going to end up. At some point, you're going to have this talk with this person. Like, and the Six of Cups is like everything you've been through with this person. Everything you're bringing forward the history, how well you get along. You know, you thought there was some chemistry there. You're not understanding if they're not feeling it, or maybe if you misinterpreted something. You're just kind of like, let's ante this up. Are we friends and that's it? Or is there a possibility for more? Because from this moment on, it's either I'm going to be like, all right, we're friends, and I'm just going to accept that and just leave it where it is. Or if there's possibility for more, then I want to explore that, and I want to do it. I feel you're the one pushing it forward. You're the one kind of like, listen, I don't mean to cause problems, but I just need to know where you stand, because I know where I stand. If you're completely not interested, okay, then I'll do with it what I need to. But if you are, I want to explore this. I'm interested. And that's where this is heading. Like, this is where this is finally going to accumulate. I feel like you have a lot backing you at this point. And it's kind of like, you're not afraid to bring this forward is what I'm getting. It's kind of like, you know what? If it's going to be a friendship, then we need to have this talk, and I need to be in that mindset that this is just a friendship. That's all this person wants. But if it can be more, I'm going to push it forward. I'm not going to just wait for it to possibly happen or possibly let it move on. I'm going to find out if it's there, and if it's there, I want it. And that's where that's going. All right, I think we're there. I'm going to wrap this up here. I hope it helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.